What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today is Friday, April 15th, also known as Playoffs Eve, and we eagerly await the two most trash-talkingest teams in the NBA to tip off on what projects to be one of the most exciting and intriguing first-round matchups. But before that, before I do my series preview on Saturday, which is tomorrow, right before the game, two of the Timberwolves media members got caught lacking. First, listen to what Jim Suhan says about the number 2 team in the NBA, your Memphis Grizzlies.
And let's talk about the Wolves' opportunity to celebrate while playing the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's a fascinating matchup because I think these teams like going against each other. And here's the thing, if you're going to end up playing a number 2 seed, you want it to be a team like the Memphis Grizzlies who aren't incredibly talented.
Yeah, you heard that right. This nut just said the second best team in the entire NBA by a full 3 games is not that talented. A team with a top 5 MVP candidate, a team with a top 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidate, a team with a potential most improved player, and a team with another player who averaged 25 points per game last year in the playoffs. Now, after hearing him talk all that jazz, you would think the Pups were the favorites tomorrow. But Vegas says no. Vegas don't agree with him. Not at all. Vegas has the Grizz as a 7-point favorite, the second highest favorite behind only the world champion Bucks, who are a 10-point favorite against the Bulls. That's it. Now, you would think that would be enough for them, that they would stop where they were before they gave the Grizzlies any more material to work with, any more of that good old bulletin board material that teams use for motivation. But nah, they didn't stop. Here's what his partner had to say. I think his name is John. Yeah, John and a bunch of letters. You see the name on the screen. It's just Mr. John and a bunch of letters. John Krasinski. That's his name. That's how I'm going to pronounce it until he starts talking some sense. Listen to him.
So you worry about a team like the Wolves going in and really not being ready for the stage and not being experienced there, and maybe going up against a more veteran team that has more experience and just is more aware of the moment and how to handle it. And the Grizzlies don't have much more experience at all than the Wolves. They were in it for a cup of coffee last season. And so all of their guys are really young and not exactly battle tested either. So that advantage for the Grizzlies is not there the way it would have been if they played the Suns or the Warriors in the first round, maybe even Utah. If they drew them in the first round, there's not that experience edge that their opponent has on them. So they're going to go in, these two teams are going to go in on a very level playing field. And so from that aspect of things, I mean, I think it's a good matchup. The Wolves have absolutely wanted or preferred this matchup clearly over the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at X's and O's, when you look at strengths and weaknesses, the Grizzlies don't shoot a ton of threes and they make them at a very high clip. Ja Morant is sensational, but the one thing that has given him a little bit of problems in the pick and roll defense is exactly what the Wolves do the best. And so they are going to go into this series still the underdogs, but absolutely believing that they not only could take this thing deep, but they could actually win the series. And I don't think that is an unreasonable stance for the Wolves to take.
Agree completely.
Can you imagine that? Saying two teams that were 10 games apart in the standings are on the same level, comparing a play-in team to the second best team in the league? Oh my goodness. The Grizzlies finished the season winning 7 of their last 10 games, while the Pups were a measly 4-6, and the Grizzlies were missing their best player. Now, if these two things seem the same to Mr. Alphabet, it is time for him to check his glasses, Now, I'll give you guys a good breakdown on this series tomorrow in the preview. It's going to be up hopefully before noon Central Time. So you can listen to the preview, enjoy the game, get your parlays in on FanDuel, and, just enjoy the day of playoff basketball. We got 2 play-in games tonight. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Atlanta Hawks. And in that one, I got to go with my dog, Trae Young. And in the second game, we got the Los Angeles Clippers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm hoping that the Pelicans win because I want some new blood in the playoffs. And I think it'd just be comical to have both LA teams miss the playoffs. And, you got both LA teams and one of the New York teams missing the playoffs. I'm a small market guy. What can I say? I got to love it. Now, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with other Grizzlies and Timberwolves fans. And if you are a Grizzly or Timberwolves fan, tell me, what do you think about those comments that these two jackalecks made on their podcast? And I will be putting their information in the podcast so you can go listen to the podcast in its full in the description. And I will be back with you tomorrow. This is Memphis X, and I'm out.